Welcome to Late to the Party. It's the hottest new TV/game/movie review show on the face of the earth, where I talk about stuff that's already come out, making me pretty late to the party. Today we're talking about the hit game from Sucker Punch Studios, released back in 2020.
Coronavirus officially hitting the U.S.
A virus is more...
It is Ghost of Tsushima. Now, first things first, this game is more beautiful than a hot, fresh stack of Aunt Jemima's pancakes on a Sunday morning. It's got these beautiful, long pastures and fields full of these white flowers that your character runs through on his horse. And it's got these amazing landscapes that look like they're straight out of a katana purchasing anime weeb's dreams. And it's just quite breathtaking, if I'm going to be honest. Now, as important as it is for the game to look good, that puppy better play good. So let's talk gameplay. The sword fighting in this game is how I imagine Batman would be with a katana in the Arkham games if the enemies also knew how to fight back, but also somehow managed to have the same intelligence as I did when I graduated high school. There's multiple segments in the game where you have to be very stealthy, as per usual for any third-person game. And the enemies, you can stealth kill someone and there will be another enemy just directly in your sightline staring at you as you're taking his friend out, and then they'll just keep walking. It's honestly true NPC behavior. But at the same time, when you're taking on a wave of enemies head on, it manages to make the sword fighting very fun because the enemies come at you in different ways that'll make you either have to dodge, counterattack, block, and it really just makes for the entire fighting experience to feel very cinematic, as if it was all choreographed. Now, speaking of cinematic, let's talk this game's story. So it did something pretty unique that I don't think I've seen, I don't think ever in any other game, where it breaks it up into 3 acts, and it has you play through each act individually, and then within each act you have a set number of missions, and you play those missions in whatever order you want, all leading up to the end of the act, going into the next one. But now I'm going to break down all the acts in a segment we like to call here on the show, Yup, That's What Happened. Act 1, Ghostman's uncle gets kidnapped by Khotan Khan from the hit Ben Stiller movie Night at the Museum. No, I'm for real. And our favorite little ghost boy isn't too happy about that, so he trolleys on over to where his uncle is to bust him out. Act 2, there's a castle, bad guy take castle back from bad guy. Act 3, go kill big bad Ben Stiller bad guy, save your home. Everything's all good. Now, I know when condensed into like 12 seconds, that story probably doesn't sound too appealing, but trust me when I tell you that was gas. Alright, well, we've covered the scenery, we've covered the gameplay, we've covered the story. That only really leaves us with one thing left to talk about, which is the characters. Now, I mainly only want to focus on talking about the main character, the protagonist of the story, Jin Sakai, because I run this show and what I say goes. Anyways, Jin Sakai he's a troubled man, and I like that. It makes for a compelling character. He's just like me, for real. One could say he's literally me. He was taught how to fight with honor, like every good samurai boy is, and in a huge fight that begins the game, he completely throws out that lifetime code of honor that he's followed. After all, goes pretty bad. But I'm okay with that, because you see Jin struggle throughout the story with a lot of the decisions he makes and trying to justify them for himself, which I think makes for a really cool, complex character, especially when the performance is fleshed out by... I'm not even going to bother trying to say that. Overall, I really enjoyed the game. I see why it won Game of the Year back in 2020. It only took me 2 years to play it. 4 katanas out of 5.